Okay, so I'm starting this video on my vlog camera because, to be honest, I'm only going to do a really quick intro. So as you can tell from the title, today's video is going to be a vegan food video. I thought I would give you guys a video where I just film loads and loads of meals. So it's pretty much everything that me and my boyfriend have been eating over the past probably the past 2 weeks now. Like, we've just been filming it when we're eating, and I get a lot of questions about what I eat and things that we, you know, use instead of meat or whatever. So I wanted to give you guys lots of options. Some of them are easier than others. Big thank you to my boyfriend for helping me with this because they're all his recipes and he's the one cooking in all of them. I am just the woman behind the camera at this point. Yeah, we thought we would film everything that we've been eating. I'm gonna do them all as a voiceover as well because I've just been filming them on my phone. So sorry if the quality is not like as good as it usually is because I have literally just been filming them on an iPhone. But yeah, there's kind of a range of like lunches and dinners. Not really many breakfasty type things. There might be 1 or 2 breakfast type meals or like brunch type meals, but to be honest, in the mornings I literally either have like a smoothie or some toast or some cereal. Like, breakfast is a really easy meal for plant-based people, I guess. I really hope you guys enjoy this video and find it useful. If you do, please let me know so I know to film more of these style videos. And yeah. Okay, so we're starting with tomato pasta with parsley and garlic, which is one of my favorite pastas that we do. So you just want to start by chopping up some cherry tomatoes, finally chopping up some parsley and thinly slicing some garlic, and then you also want to have some vegan white wine ready as well. You can start the pasta cooking. You just want to add some salt to the pasta water to make it nice and salty like the sea. And then we're going to start cooking off the garlic. So you want a fair amount of oil in there to cook it off. Once the edges of the garlic have started to colour, you can then add in the white wine and also some chili flakes. And we're also going to add in some pasta water as well to make a creamy sauce. So you want to add the pasta in about 2 minutes before it's done because it will continue to cook in the pan. You can continue to add in pasta water as much as you want depending on how you want your sauce to be. It will just help again to make the sauce nice and creamy with the oil that we started off with. And then you just need to finish off with some fresh parsley and a little bit of lemon, and you're good to go. It's literally one of my favorite things ever. It's so fresh and so delicious. So yeah, nice and simple to start off. Okay, next up we're doing chili tacos with homemade guacamole and mint yogurt. So obviously you can buy your guacamole if you want to, but we're just going to show you how we make it. So you want your tacos, some rapeseed oil, some chili mix, meat-free mince, we're just using Plant Pioneers, and then garlic, onions, beans, peppers, any veg that you want to put in, and then we're using peeled plum, tomatoes, and some bay leaves. And then for the guacamole, you just want avocado, chilies, lime, coriander, and then for the mint yogurt we're just using some alpro, Greek yogurt, and some mint and cucumber. So you just want to start off by cutting up your ingredients. So we've just chopped up the garlic, onion, and peppers. First in is the onion with some oil, and obviously you want to season as you go as well. We then added in the peppers and the garlic and added some tomato puree and chili. So you just want to cook that down for a couple of minutes. Next up, we're going to use some of the peeled plum tomatoes, and we also used red kidney beans in the end because our black beans hadn't been pre-soaked. This is how the guacamole ended up. So you just want to smash up your avocado, cut up some tomatoes, and add in your coriander and a little bit of lime as well, and just mix that all together. It's super easy to do. For the mint yogurt, we actually used to make this a lot with the Faye 0% fat yogurt, but you can just replace it with alpro and it's absolutely like, it tastes pretty much the same. So just cutting up some cucumber and some mint, just like chopping them as finely as you want to chop them, and then you just want to mix it in with the yogurt and it's literally done. It tastes really yummy and it tastes really fresh with the meat and the avocado as well. So this is what the chili looks like once it's cooked down. So we also did just add some water and a stock pot and the bay leaf and just left that to cook down, and then you're pretty much done. You just want to heat up your tacos, so we just fried them in a dry pan, and then you're pretty much done. So we just popped it all in bowls and just served it at the table. We also cut up some more coriander and some chilies and lime to add as well. So just add what you like and customize it for yourself, and then you're pretty much done. Super yummy, and again, pretty simple to make. Okay, and then because we had a lot of chili left over, we decided to have a burrito bowl the next day and make use of that. So the first thing we added to it was black beans, because I was really craving black beans and we couldn't use them the day before because we hadn't soaked them. So we just soaked those overnight and put them to the side. And then you want to go ahead and start your rice. So we're just using basmati rice and washing it really thoroughly. For the rice, we're using chili powder, paprika and cumin, but you can just use the chili mix from yesterday if that's easier for you to do. And then you just want to get some veg. So we've got some peppers, some onions, some garlic, some chilies, and then we're also using bay leaves and a stock pot again. So I'm going to go ahead and finely chop the peppers and also chop up the onions. And then we are going to be using some coriander stalks as well, just for flavor. So it's up to you how you cut your veg. We're just doing it kind of like really fine cubes. For the stalks and the garlic, you just want to finely chop these, and then once you're done, you can go ahead and start adding stuff to the pan. So half of the veg is going to be used for the beans and then half is going to be used for the rice. So you just want to put half of it into a pan for the beans and start cooking that with some oil. So you'll see here literally just half of everything is getting added. Once you've fried all of that off, you can go ahead and add in the beans. So also adding in the water from the beans as well, and then just add in some extra water, a bay leaf and half a stock pot, and you're going to want to leave that to simmer on a medium-low heat for about 50 minutes to an hour, and then you can just put that to the side and concentrate on the rice. For the rice, you just want to start by frying the remaining of the vegetables. So just adding all of those to a pot with some oil, and then we're also going to add some tomato puree, the spices that we mentioned at the start of the video, so the chili powder and the cumin. Like I said, you can just use the chili mix if it's easier that we used yesterday, but we're just doing this instead today. And then you want to start cooking that in the pot, and then we're going to go ahead and add the rice. The ratio for rice to water is 2:1, so you want 1 part rice and then 2 parts water. We're also going to add a bay leaf in a stock pot as well, and then you want to go ahead and bring that to a boil and cook it for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then you just want to turn it down to the lowest setting, pop the lid on and let it steam until cooked. All that's left to do is the tortilla chips, which again is optional. You can just buy these from the supermarket if you want to, but we just took a wrap and cut it into little triangles, so just into like 8 pieces, and then we popped it in a tray with some foil and tried to like bend the edges so they would cook kind of like curved, so you could pick up the avocado, the rice, whatever you want to eat it with, and that is pretty much it. So you can just serve it all in a bowl and it's all done. Onto another pasta dish. This is creamy mushroom spaghetti. So again, it's really simple and easy to make. Obviously you want the mushrooms and then just any other veg that you want to throw in. So we had some asparagus and broccoli that needed using up, and then again some parsley, some plant-based cream. These are the mushrooms that we're using, and then we're also using some crushed chilies, some white wine, and we popped in some baby spinach as well. And again, you will need a stock pot. We're first off just going to cut up the onion and garlic. So we just thinly sliced the garlic again and then finally chopped the onion, and also got some olive oil ready in the pan and the pasta water as well with some salt. So you also obviously want to chop up your mushrooms. We just thinly sliced them, and then we also chopped up the broccoli and asparagus to go in. So really simple. You just want to add your ingredients into the pan and fry them off depending on what takes the longest to cook. So we're just taking the onion first and then adding in the garlic, waiting until they're nice and soft, and then we're going to add the mushrooms and the asparagus and the broccoli in. Obviously it depends what you're using at home, but that is the way we did it today. You'll know when to add the veg after the mushrooms because the water will have been released from the mushrooms once it's been frying for a long enough time, and you of course want to be cooking your pasta in the meantime as well because we are going to add that in a minute. First though, you just want to add your white wine. Never be shy on the wine, add as much as you like, and make sure it's a vegan wine as well because not all wine is vegan. So you just want to reduce that, and then also add in some pasta water again to make it nice and creamy, and then we are going to add in the stock pot at this point as well. Only add in half a stock pot actually, I almost forgot to mention that, so just half a stock pot, and then you want to add some chili flakes. It's up to you how many you add. Obviously I'm not the best with spice, so we never put a ton in because I can't handle it. And then next we're going to do the cream. So you don't want a ton of cream. I feel like it's always easy to go overboard with the cream, but just a small amount will do. Once that's cooked off again a little bit, you can then add in the pasta. Allow the pasta to cook in the sauce for a few more minutes, and you can also add more pasta water at this point if you want to. We then added the spinach, and that was pretty much it. You can just serve it, add some parsley, and you're good to go. It is delicious. Okay, this next one is super easy. It's perfect for just like breakfast, lunch, or like a snack if that's what you like. We're just going to be doing avocado on toast with some tomatoes and garlic. So all you're going to need is obviously avocado, tomatoes. We're just using cherry tomatoes on the vine, and then we're using some fresh bread as well. You also want a little bit of parsley just to top off at the end. So we just thinly sliced the garlic ready to pop in the pan, and then I just went ahead and crushed the avocado, added some salt and pepper to season, and then you want to start off by adding your tomatoes to the pan with a little bit of olive oil. So starting on a medium high heat, and then once they have begun to blister, you can add the garlic and turn it down to more of like a medium heat. And then once the garlic begins to turn golden on the edges, you can add a little bit of white wine, which is optional, but you know, the more wine the merrier. We also added a little bit of lemon at this point. You can add some chili flakes if you want. You can just like do what you like with it. And then once they're done, you can just pop them in a bowl to the side and go ahead and do the bread. So just using the excess oil to cook the bread and make it nice and toasty in the pan. And then everything's pretty much done. So you can just pop it on a plate, spread your avocado on, add the tomatoes, the garlic, some fresh parsley, and you're good to go. Next up, we're doing Thai curry. We're doing a red Thai curry with some coconut rice, which is one of my favorite things as well, and also one of my boyfriend's favorite dishes. So this is all the veg that you need: some potatoes, corn, broccoli, peppers, tomatoes, onions, mushrooms, all of that good stuff. And then this is what we're using for the paste. Usually we'd make the paste from scratch, so if anyone wants to know how to do that, then let me know, but this is what we're using today. And then for the rice, you just want some coconut milk, some lemongrass, and some lime leaves, and obviously your rice as well. So this is what banana blossom looks like straight out of the tin, in case anyone is wondering. So you just want to go ahead and get that out. For the rice, you want 1 part rice, 1 part coconut milk, and 1 part water. And then we're also going to pop some lemongrass in there as well, which you just kind of smash up a little bit to make sure all of the flavor gets in there. And then we're adding a little bit of ginger too, which I don't recommend cutting it up on a Cesco bag. Obviously use a chopping board. We also added some lime leaves, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, put it all in the pot, and then just brought it up to the boil and allowed that to steam on a lower setting, and you can just set that aside. And then in terms of the curry, you want to start off with some coconut milk in the pan. You want to cook that until the oil separates from the milk, which you'll kind of see around the edges. You can see in other shots in a second as well. So you want to bring it up to a bit of a higher heat and then wait for that to separate. You can then add your curry paste, and again just cook that until the oil has separated again, which like I said, you'll see kind of around the edges of the pot. Then you just want to add in your coconut milk and reduce it further, and just repeat this process until all of the coconut milk has been added. It's up to you how much paste you use as well. Like I said, I'm not the best with spice, so we don't use as much as I guess most people would, but yeah, you'll kind of see the process here. Once that's all cooked down, you can add some water just to thin the curry out a little bit, and then we're going to add some lemongrass and some lime leaves, which you'll see those go in a second. Here we're just adding the chopped potatoes just because they will take the longest to cook. So you want to add those in along with the lime leaves and the lemongrass and bring that to a boil and allow those to cook. And then the next thing to go in will be the mushrooms and the banana blossom. Once that's cooked, you can go ahead and add the rest of the vegetables apart from the choy sum. So that's going to go in last just because it only takes about 30 seconds to cook. So you're going to go ahead and add the broccoli, baby corn, and the tomatoes, and the onions and peppers I believe is left. And then yeah, you'll just be left with the choy sum, which we'll add right at the ends. By now the rice is pretty much done. Oh my gosh, you need to try this rice, it's so delicious. So that is what it looks like. And then we're just going to finish off the curry. You can see there we've just added in the choy sum, and we're also going to add a little bit of Thai basil just to top it off, and then also a little bit of soy sauce and some palm sugar as well. And then you kind of just want to add what you want to it, so some chilies, some coriander, whatever you fancy, and then you're pretty much done. You can just serve it in a bowl with the rice, and yeah, that is everything. It's so good. I really hope some of you try this. So yeah. Okay, this is probably one of the easiest recipes in this video just because it's pretty much made up of a Linda McCartney kit. So this is the vegetarian pulled pork bao kit, which is suitable for vegans, as you can see in the middle of the box. So in the kit, you just get the bao buns, you get the meats, and then you also get a sauce to go with it as well. So we are going to add a couple of bits to it, which is of course optional. This is what we're going to use as a sauce to go with the meat. So just add any sort of like barbecue sauce that you fancy. We're also slicing up some cucumber to go in the baos, and we've just chopped up some ginger and garlic. So the first thing you want to do is just fry off the ginger and garlic in a pan with some oil. And once that's done and it's nice and soft, you can go ahead and add the meat. And like I said, you can literally use any style of barbecue sauce at home that you want to use. It doesn't have to be what we're using. It's just to add like a sauce to the meat, because the sauce that comes in the kit is kind of just to add on top at the end. So just for like a little bit of extra flavor. It's really simple to do. Pretty much everything is on the box in terms of instructions. We actually had a little malfunction with one of our baos here, as you can see, but they just go in the microwave, and then you just want to go ahead and cook your meat in the pan. We added a little bit of water as well. So you just want to continue to cook that and then add your sauce. Like I said, it's a really simple recipe, but I wanted to include this because I honestly recommend Linda McCartney kits so much, especially these bao kits. It's so delicious, tastes exactly like meat, tastes really yummy. They're really high in protein as well, which is amazing, so really recommend them. But yeah, we just added the sauce in here, and then you just want to go ahead and put your buns together. So we used a little bit of Asian slaw, just like pink slaw, which is so yummy. We use this in a lot of dishes at the minute. I really like it. And then just a little bit of the meat and the cucumber, and just topped it off with, I can't remember what we used actually. Did we use coriander or parsley? I can't remember, but we just topped it off with some chilies and obviously the sauce that comes with it too. And this is the end result. Nice and yummy. Okay, on to the last big meal. We're going to be doing a mushroom pie with mash and veggies. So here are all of the ingredients. It's a big list. I'm going to list everything below. Just like wine, mushrooms, cream, parsley, onion, garlic, some rosemary and thyme for the vegetables, stock pots, some nutritional yeast, which you could also use in the mushroom pasta if you want to as well, and then just any veg that you want to use. So we're doing asparagus and carrots. And then we've also got the ingredients for the mash, so salt, pepper, and we've done sweet potato and normal potatoes, so kind of like a ratio of 3 normal potatoes to 1 sweet potato, if anyone's interested. So you just want to go ahead and cut up your veg. So finally chop your garlic and onion and chop the mushrooms. We actually added the mushrooms first just because we wanted to really cook these down today. So we're using 2 different types of mushrooms because it is a mushroom pie, and just cooking those down in the pan. This is kind of what your mushrooms look like once they've been cooking down and all of the water has been released. And then you want to go ahead and add your onions and garlic, and we're also going to add some rosemary and thyme as well, and again just continue to cook that down. After that, we are going to add some white wine, a little bit of water. We're going to use a full stock pot today, and also a bay leaf as well. So you can just kind of pop all of that in a pot and just allow it to simmer. We also added in a little bit of dry parsley, and then just went ahead and added the cream as well. So you can kind of see here how much cream we're using. It's probably like 1/4 of a pot, I want to say. We just used about what was left in the pot. And then we're also going to add some nutritional yeast, just to add some vitamins. Obviously it's really high in B12, and just to again add a little bit more flavor. It's got a really nice like nutty cheesy flavor to it. And then after that we did add some spinach and some parsley. Once that's all cooked, you just want to set it aside in your cooking dish to cool. So you want to make sure it's nice and cooled before you put the pastry on top. Bit of trial and error with the pastry. It kind of shrunk a little bit as we were cooking with it. We hadn't used it before, but it came out pretty good in the end. These are the carrots. We just popped those in the oven with some oil and garlic and rosemary and thyme just to cook, and then added in the rest of the veg. And then in terms of the mash, we just boiled the potatoes, added some vegan block, which we get from Sainsbury's, and again a little bit of cream just to make it nice and creamy. And we did add in some spring onions as well, just because it actually goes really well with the sweet potato and the normal potato together. Obviously you want to salt the water when you boil the potatoes, and add a little bit of salt if needs be. So this was everything pretty much done, and you just want to serve it up. Considering it was the first time we tried this pie, very proud of it. It was very yummy, and yeah, it all came together really well. Okay, I had to include this at the end as a little like sweet treat. So this is just like the easiest Victoria sponge you will ever do. We actually got this idea from my boyfriend's mum and sister. So just using a vanilla Betty Crocker mix, because they are actually vegan, these mixes. They don't contain any animal ingredients. You are supposed to add eggs and other ingredients to it, but we're just going to keep it really simple and obviously keep it vegan as well. So we're just going to use half the mix. Obviously get a baking tray ready with some grease-proof paper and some oil around the pan as well, just to grease it. And all we're going to do is use half the mix and 1 can of 150 milliliters of Sprite, which seems like a really random thing to do, but oh my gosh, it literally makes the most delicious vanilla cake. It is incredible. So you just mix that together, literally just the mix and the lemonade, and just pop it in a pan, cook it for the amount of time. I think it's about 22 minutes, and then we just set it aside. We cut it in half, added some strawberry jam and also some homemade kind of like buttercream, which was just done with vegan custard and caster sugar, just whipped together. It's a little bit runny, it's not quite the right consistency, but obviously again, to keep it vegan, it was delicious. Popped it in the fridge, had this as a dessert in the evening, and I was obsessed. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.